Well, fill it with gas, fill it with oil, check the water, we're ready to roll. It's got no buzzers, no flashing lights, just let you know when it feels alright. One side looks like an old tin can and the foot's held down with rubber bands. We tell it our problems and it understands as we roll along the highway. We all drive an old yellow Datsun with one green door.
Hey YouTubers, just one thing before I run this video. I'm actually doing this backwards because this is as I'm shutting down for the night. I want to wish all the American neighbors to the south there happy Thanksgiving, and I hope this finds you all with plentiful eats on the table and good health, and enjoy your families, and have a good one. Now on with the show. First thing I want to say is, what the hell is going on here? You know, last night or yesterday during the day and the afternoon and evening, my youngest son and I were out in the garage and it was chilly out. We had a fire going. And it was just one of those damp cools. I think it was, I don't know, -10, but it felt damp, so it kind of bites into you. Come out today, I'm in a t-shirt. I don't have the wood stove going. I'm sitting in the garage and it's +5 out. You know, the snow is going away. This is the 23rd of November, and this is crazy. Normally we have a foot of snow by now, and you know, not that I'm complaining. I like the snow. I like the cool, but this stuff here, you can't keep your car clean, and because we're getting around the freezing mark, the highways department, and if you go into the city, they're sanding the roads because those of you unfamiliar with it, the roads are most slippery around and just below zero. The colder it gets, actually, the less slippery the roads become. You know, I like this weather, but I'll be damned if I can keep my van clean. I can't keep, you know, you're tracking crap into the house every time you're walking in and outside because everything's wet, but that's kind of the way it goes. Anyway, been making a bit of headway in the garage here. Getting ready to do some insulating and drywalling in here this weekend, in a couple of days. So what I've done is I've moved my my one Roadster convertible, my Datsun, into the portable garage. That's basically I've tied it to the garage. It's like having a 4-car garage, and started moving some of the bulkier stuff out to get it out of the way. And then my son was working on a table I have set up over there that was just a kind of being used as I started with the intention of using it for sorting stuff, and then when I started putting up the portable, it just became a catch-all for tools. So he was going through that last night, and we got a lot of tools put away, and a lot of stuff sorted out, and a lot of garbage. So instead of just moving stuff out to drywall and insulate, I'm actually taking the opportunity to try and do a quick purge as we move stuff. And hopefully that works out for us. I figure between my boys and I, we can do this. You know, I'm a little bit picky about how we do things, so I figure it'll take us a day. And that's not working too hard at it either. So number 2 son might be joining us a little bit. I know he has a staff Christmas party for his wife's business, and so they're going to go into, they actually live out of town, out of Winnipeg, farther out than I am. They're about a 40-minute drive, or about a 30-minute drive from Winnipeg, and then it's another half hour to get where the party is. So they're going to actually stay at my sister's house in the city for the weekend, so they don't have to drive. and they can enjoy themselves. My sister and brother-in-law have graciously offered to drop them off and pick them up so they can enjoy and not worry about drinking and driving, and it takes a big load off. And my daughter-in-law's parents are going to take the kids, so they're going to be able to enjoy a nice dinner and party, and good for them. They deserve a good night out like that. Everybody should get a good night out like that. And anyway, it's just a bit of an update. I just going to get a little bit done, and I'm going to turn the video camera off because me walking around aimlessly trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing is not exactly the most exciting thing to watch. So I'll give you an update in a little while. I'll turn the camera back on and give you a little update in a little while and let you know how things are going. So we'll catch you in a bit. Just 30-second update. So where was I before I was so pleasantly interrupted? Actually was working outside, and my wife had to pick up one of our granddaughters from daycare. So I went in the house and teased her a little bit and had a few minutes before Mom came and got her. Boy, she's a sweetheart. Melts my heart every time. Anyway, back at it. It's another quick little update. A little more done. Some more stuff moved outside, getting ready to do the drywalling. And it's been a funny day. It was up to +5. Warm enough for me that I was out here in a t-shirt because, you know, like I'd mentioned in previous videos, I like the cold, and I guess having the extra 100 pounds or so of natural insulation, I don't get cold. Anyway, just as the sun went down here, just after my granddaughter got picked up, I was out here and it cooled off quite a bit. Got down to about, oh, I don't know, 2 degrees, 1 or 2 degrees. And then just before supper time, it went up again, and it was up around 5 for a little bit, and it's dropped down again, so it's now down to, I think it's 2 or 3 degrees again. It says 40 degrees Fahrenheit on the one in the shop here. So anyway, just to make it more comfortable, it's still got that damp feeling. I'm going to continue on putting some tools away and throwing out some more garbage, and taking a lot of scrap and stuff and burning it. I even got half a bucket of ashes ready to go in the car. I'll do a Tommy Shoe here commercial break. Anyway, I was just going to show you before I shut off and get back to work here, is what I do is I dig out the ashes and crap, because I burn stuff that has nails in it too. It's just a garage, so nails aren't going to hurt anything in the stove. But what I do when I empty out the cold ashes, or when I empty them out, I empty them into a metal bucket or metal coffee cans so they don't, if they are still warm, they don't do anything. But once they've cooled down, I actually take them and put them through a little stainless steel strainer. And I have 2 different sizes. I got the big one here and the smaller one, and I also got this. It's actually a spaghetti spoon, and just, you know, cheap stainless steel dollar store stuff. And what I do is I put the metal strainer on my little pail, pour some of the ashes in, give it a shake, and I get all the nails and all the crap out. But what I also end up with is, you know, some ashes, and it's very fine ashes. And what I do with those is I'll take them and pour them into empty plastic milk jugs, and I usually keep at least, well, I keep a milk jug in each of my vehicles, milk jug full of ashes, and also at both doors in my house. And for those of you in the colder climates, you may know this, works a lot better than kitty litter or poultry grit or traction sand, and it's free. And you sprinkle some of these ashes from your wood stove or your fireplace onto absolute glare ice, and it's like walking on dry pavement. So that's something that my father-in-law used to do, and he used to give us a bucket or two every year. And my mom and dad, you know, they grew up in the 30s and 40s, and up in Canada here, or up in Manitoba, a lot of the houses were heated with coal or with wood. And so they, you know, if you got stuck driving around the roads in you know, old time Winnipeg, what you would do if you got stuck is most of the people had the ashes thrown out in the backyard after they've emptied out their wood stoves or wood furnaces. So if you got stuck, you just went to the nearest house with a shovel or whatever you had, and you scooped up some of the old ashes and threw them under your tires, and away you go. So using something that's old like that, you know, it beats throwing them. You know, they're basically biodegradable, and I could throw them in a bag in a landfill, but works great for icy conditions. You know, the only setback with it is the fact that if you do have it on your shoes and you have light colored carpeting in the house, your wife is likely gonna choke you. So make sure you take your shoes off at the door. But for those of you who want a little of extra free traction in the wintry climates, there you go. Either clean out your wood stove or find somebody that has one and get their ashes and sift them through one of those little stainless steel colander things from a dollar store, and away you go. And I usually do it when I'm restoking the fire anyway. I scoop the old ones out and I get the fire started, and while I'm kind of sitting there waiting for it to catch, I'll take the time then to sit there, and especially if you're just getting it started and it's a little cool out, you're going to be sitting near the stove anyway, so I just sit in 5 or 10 minutes while the stove is getting warmed up and the wood is starting to catch. I just sit and sift through a can of the stuff, and then I take a funnel and I pour it into a milk jug and tractionate, and it doesn't cost me a penny. Anyway, time to get to work. Catch up with you later. Hey YouTubers, how's it going? Just a little update for the last one for the evening anyway. Things are looking pretty good. Got stuff moved out for storage out there for our drywalling adventure. And in the garage, that's a box of empty boxes. But as you can see, there's enough floor space for 2 of my Datsuns. And the fire's going, and Junior's running from the camera. We got Doug to the radial arm saw. We're Doug over to the shopsmith. Dug out over to the lathe. A few things on the bench to sort. Some of which I loaded up again tonight. There we go. We haven't put any wood on the fire for a while. It's down to 48 degrees. I think it's around 0 outside, 0 Celsius. That's 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's check this one. Well, that one's saying it's about 40. So one of them's lying, or maybe because that one's mounted on the wall directly or something, I don't know. Bunch more tools put away. 2 boxes sitting here for me to sort. I can sit on my ass and do that. I think we're just about ready to call her quits. This is a box of stuff to sort. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes, and then whatever's on this cart. So a lot of progress. This is a familiar pose here. Mind you, you all have kids likely that sit and do that. They're sitting there when they're texting away. But we're getting there. There's my bucket and my bag for house tools. Those will go in the house once we get stuff straightened away a little bit. On the generator, I got to change the motor on it. That one's seized, but I have another one anyway. I'll pop it apart and see what's seized on it. Seized from lack of use, not from poor running. Anyway, I think it's time to call it quits here. It's getting a little later. I'm getting a little tired, and lots done. Lots to feel good about. Catch you later.